way.
Couldn't wait to get involved because it, it just feels like something completely different.
We're doing it, guys! Look out!
The element where SpongeBob and his friends come up into our world is much more of a big deal in this movie than it was in the last one.
Let's save Bikini Bottom.
There's a little part, I think, in everyone that wishes they were a superhero.
You can call me the rodent!
He's a little bit crazy. He's a little bit nuts. And he's filled with imagination.
The idea that SpongeBob and Plankton have to team up is something that we haven't seen before.
When we made the first movie, it was simply a 2D animated movie. It was sort of a bigger story from what we'd been doing on the TV show with a little bit of live action, and then it became clear once we got started in this that it was going to be a much larger movie.
You know what this means, Mr. Squidward.
We get the rest of the day off?
No.
Things really started rolling when Steve and Paul Tibbitt hatched a story that they felt is feature-worthy.
Come closer while I tell you the tale.
Don't that close! Go!
We came up with this idea that the narrator would steal the formula to the Krabby Patty.
Last, it is mine.
Burger Beard steals the Krabby Patty formula, which he knows is so tasty that some captains have actually sunk their ships to get a taste of the Krabby Patty.
After 14 years, we lost the formula!
It will be a complete breakdown of social order.
Aren't you overreacting a bit?
I hope you like leather.
We said, let's try to bring as much new stuff to everything. Showing Bikini Bottom in a post-apocalyptic setting, that was all new.
For some reason, everybody's got mohawks and wearing leather bondage gear, because that's what happens when the world goes to seed.
For a huge part of the movie, we're exploring a Bikini Bottom that we've never seen before, which allowed us to come up with hundreds of new designs to treat the backgrounds differently than we normally do on the TV series.
Complete chaos here today as our town attempts to deal with a sudden and complete shortage of Krabby Patties.
It makes sense that this particular movie would be centered around food, because you take away the one thing that makes SpongeBob's life bearable, your adventure begins.
We decided that SpongeBob and his friends would have to save the town.
Come on, guys! I think it's just over this hill.
The surface. We won't be able to breathe.
I can get you safely to the surface.
There's a course. There's a dolphin in between the layers of time that is watching over humanity, making sure planets don't bash into each other. That's sort of a typical day in the SpongeBob universe.
Get in my mouth!
This is the better of the talking dolphin movies. This is the best one. Best talking dolphin movie ever.
Note to self, never stow away in a gym sock.
We are doing 2D animation.
I feel tingly.
But when the characters come to the surface, they're converted into CG.
What is this place? Uh-oh.
Out away from your normal home, everything gets weird, and it definitely gets weird.
Feels so good.
The live action's definitely more complicated because you have to integrate the characters into that space.
We love traditional animation, but once we started seeing it in 3D, we realized, oh wow, this actually can look great.
We spent a lot of time really focusing on nuance and acting and animation to make sure in the CG world, they look and feel the same way that they do in the animated world.
Let's get the Krabby Patty formula and save Bikini Bottom.
That was a challenge, just making sure that we were creating a photoreal SpongeBob that didn't upset people who knew SpongeBob in the 2D world.
We're definitely old school, where we've been doing 2D for a long time, and it really wasn't until like the last 5 years that CG has become able to do what cartoons used to do. I really didn't expect to like it. I thought, CG, or they're never going to translate that well, but they've done an amazing job of translating even our style of animation into the CG.
Anytime we get a chance to do something bigger that's different than the show, absolutely awesome every time.
Cotton candy.
If you ate all that, you'd have enough energy to run around the whole world.
Where's his sugar gonna wear off?
When they leave the water, it's like they're going to Oz. Everything is different.
I'm gonna write us an ending.
Will it be a happy ending?
It's gonna be super powered.
End up at the food truck where they discover that this guy has stolen the Krabby Patty formula.
Patrick?
We get to see the characters in superhero personas that are brand new for this film.
If you like superheroes and food trucks, and I know we all do, you're gonna like this movie.
Yeah, it was kind of an evolution. I mean, we started out with this idea that they would just have kind of fighting skills and they would work together and, you know, it would be more of a kung fu thing.
There were a ton of ideas across the board that we started playing with, and then we settled on something that was pretty great.
We started thinking, wait a minute, you know, let's try to go more along the lines of Iron Man and all those guys.
We tried to capture some internal thing from each character. Squidward plays the clarinet.
His superpower is that when he plays his clarinet, it debilitates whoever is the target, just like it does in real life.
Mr. Krabs is kind of like a robot.
Mr. Krabs could take on the Iron Man.
Sandy becomes a real squirrel, which scares all of them.
What?
SpongeBob shows off his ability to blow these giant bubbles that can lift things in the air.
Patrick summons ice creams.
And what a perfect superpower for Patrick.
Seeing these more mundane characteristics turned into these superhero powers is a ton of fun.
It's fun to see them all out of their element and experiencing new crazy things and the epic nature of a feature film.
Prepare to be teamworked.
It definitely raises the bar on the movie.
It's not only just a movie for kids, it implies a tremendous amount of surrealism and something that is very out of the box.
I love the absurd nature of it, you know, that just anything can happen.
We tried from frame one on to say, let's not do anything that we've ever done before, and I think we succeeded.
We did it!